Hello, 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 and welcome to the third episode of the Settle for More podcast. I am Nicole Wright, and I created this space for the woman who is ready to walk out on her fears, step into her dreams, and own her power by shifting her mindset from feeling not enough to becoming more than enough, creating a purposeful and fabulous life whilst settling for more. So, welcome. Today, I am super excited to be sharing with you a topic that's been weighing so heavily on my heart as I think about the individuals that I have in my space. I think about friends that I now have in my immediate circle. I think about friends that have come, friends that have gone, some friends I miss dearly, some friends I don't miss at all. And last night, I had the opportunity to have a very interesting conversation with I'm not sure if I can call her friend, but for the purpose of this conversation, I'll call her friend. I had this conversation with a friend of mine that I met physically only once, but we have connected through WhatsApp, through text, through voice notes ever since we met because we do have a mutual friend in common. And throughout our conversation, we spoke about friendships and the importance of friendship. We also spoke about quality friendships, and the older you become, is the less tolerant you are of really having certain people in your space. And I find that women with a strong social circle are they're living longer, they're living happier lives, they're living healthier lives compared to those who lack connection. And today we live in a world that just it connects us with just a swipe of a finger and allowing us to be connected to thousands and thousands of women. However, we have to wonder if the friendships or the connections that we're creating are genuine, if they're authentic, if they're allowing us to have a feeling of mistrust, to feel jealous, or to feel disempowered, fearful, or misunderstood, or just ultimately defeated. And so we're often left believing that achieving success is solo, and that is if you've had friendships that has really scarred you or friendships that have left a bitter taste in your mouth, then sometimes you've decided to ride solo. The truth is that no man is an island and absolutely no man should be standing alone. When Jesus walked this earth, if you want to look at it in a biblical context, Jesus had 12 disciples, which I do believe is a clear indication that you're not able to travel this world alone and be 100% successful, that you do need to create a dream team. You do need to have people that are supporting you, individuals that will hold you up when you lose steam. So the truth is that the people that you have in your life can either uplift you or they can bring you down. And it is really up to you whether you are allowing them to do so or not. So you need to take a look or an inventory, just as how we tend to declutter our homes. So we declutter our closets, we do our basements, we do our garage, we do our kitchens. We should really be decluttering our friendships and really examining areas of our lives that we really need to work on. And your friendships and relationships should be one of those areas. So when you take a close look at the individuals that you have chosen to be in your space, you need to ask yourself, are the people that you have surrounded yourself with, are they accepting you just the way you are, number one? Do they energize you or do you feel drained by them? If they drain you and then are you really tempted to throw them out of your life? If they drain you, are you really asking yourself the question, why have you allowed them to drain you? And why do you continuously allow them to remain in your space? And so it is important that you take a look at the benefits of decluttering people from your life because you are the most important person in your life and you really and absolutely have the choice to decide who you really want to be in your space. And this doesn't mean that you need to go out and behave in a nasty or unloving manner. On the contrary, you have to be more loving when you have friendships or that you're closing or that the friendships have come to an end or when people naturally leave your life. It is important that you understand that The people who are in your lives and everyone in your lives should be adding value and color to it. And at the same time, there are people in your life who are going to be detracting you from your joy, your zeal, your zest, your passion, and just from feeling as though you're enough. So you can probably think about that one person who really drains your energy every time you have a conversation with them, every time you meet with them. And if you have such few people in your life, I'm assuming that it's not a lot, then it is time for you to focus on re energizing or creating energizing friendships. So people will come and go from your lives, and it's what happened during the time that you are spending with this individual. It what happened during the time that you spend together that will decide whether you become friends on a long-term basis, or if they're just acquaintances or even business partners or just co-workers. And at the end of the day, this is your life, like I mentioned before, and this is your time that you're spending on the planet, and the time that we're spending here is not an unlimited time. So we want to make sure that you're really getting the best out of life and that you really have the people in your life that are really building you up. And so if you think about evaluating your friendships and if you think about decluttering and taking an inventory on your friendships, as human beings, we're social animals and connection is really important to us. It is also important in forming and maintaining a sense of happiness. But some connections just aren't meant to last, unfortunately. And holding on to people despite a bad connection can really end up draining your energy or even stunting your personal growth. And so we want to take a look at the concept of really labeling your friendships or really putting your friendships into categories and deciding who is serving what purpose and do you still need for this purpose to be served? Do you really need to have these individuals in your life? So you know how important it is to declutter your homes every now and then. And what about decluttering your friendships though? Have you ever asked yourself, and I know the notion may seem harsh, but it is important that you stop and reflect on the people that you have in your lives and the people that are not bringing value to your life. So, if we wanted to categorize the friendship, so I am a facilitator, I am a trainer, and so I'm going to help you get a visual on this. So, you can really place them into three main categories and you can identify them by really exploring or really taking a close look at the friendships that you have. So you have what I want to call bad connections, and we want to put those people maybe in the red zone, right? Then you have the pseudo good connections, and let's put those people in the yellow zone, a little bit of caution there. And then you have the real connection, thumbs up. We want to put those people in the green zone, right? So we're talking about the red zone, which is the zone that you probably need to stay away from. You're talking a little bit about the yellow zone that you really need to be cautious about. And you're talking about the green zone, which is the real connection, the real authentic connection. This will help you to determine who you keep and who you release from your space. So let's talk a little bit about the red zone or people that you're putting in the red zone. And these are the bad connections. So these are the individuals who are draining your energy. And this usually manifests from feeling that bad friendships are better than no friendships at all. These people tend to make you feel negative emotions on a regular basis. They really drain your energy, or they just forge a deep sense of unworthiness, a deep sense of not feeling enough, and the connection that you have with them is really not strong. So, examples of this kind of friendship could be someone who guilts you into spending time with them, that individual who you find to be needy. They find it really funny to belittle you on a regular basis, or you feel that you've given a lot to the friendship and you're getting little or nothing back. There's also no feeling of trust between you and this individual. And if you were to tell them something in confidence, you can bet your bottom dollar that they will more than likely repeat it to someone else or spread it around. The truth is that ultimately you're not able to grow from this kind of friendship, right? But instead, it keeps you feeling small and you're generating a feeling of guilt, shame, and fear. These are the individuals that you really need to look at removing totally from your life. Then we want to talk about the individuals that we have in the yellow zone, and this is the pseudo good connection. So really very surface. And these friendships are a little bit on the tricky side to decipher because while you are with these individuals, they may appear to be positive and encouraging, but the relationships are very shallow. You don't share the same values. You don't even talk about values. You don't have the same goals in terms of your friendship. This is not even something that you discuss. So there is absolutely no vulnerability in this friendship. There's no acknowledgement of the not so fun side of you, and you really don't feel comfortable in sharing your troubles with them. These individuals have a tendency of telling you things that you want to hear rather than things that have your best interests at heart. So it could be a friendship where you know absolutely little or nothing about this person. You don't know what they feel, you don't know what they value, and they really don't confide in you, and you don't feel like you can confide in them. You do a lot of fun things together, yet you still don't feel that there's a deep sense of connection or that there's any trust in this friendship. So, whilst it feels nice, the friendship is empty. And so, you need to ask yourself, are you benefiting at all from this friendship? And is this person benefiting from you? Then we need to talk about the green label, thumbs up. This is the real connection. And these are the ones that really, really, really have your back. With these individuals, you will share your joys, you will share your fears, you will share your successes, you will share your failures, and you will support each other in a genuine and supportive way. There's absolutely no judgment when you're sharing, but you do feel as that you do have a strong feeling that there's deep investment in each other's futures. You share the same values. Your goals are probably aligned when it comes to friendship, boundaries, relationship, and if you do something that is questionable, these are the individuals that will be sure to really be asking you questions out of love and for your own growth and development. If you have a crisis that's going on, they will be the first person to be at your door in the middle of the night with a bottle of wine, with a Kleenex. They're the individuals that will really help you get through it. And friendship decluttering is extremely hard, but it is essential. And decluttering is easier said than done. Once you have identified someone you may want to let go of, the fear of missing out may really come to the surface. And this comes from the human instinct in wanting to avoid feelings of loneliness, feelings of being ostracized from the main group if you're a part of a particular group. It is also linked to our self esteem and wanting validation from others, even when the validation that you're getting is not the best for you. So common questions will arise, and you may ask yourself, what if these people go off and they're doing interesting things without me? What if you could develop a better friendship in the future? Maybe it's someone that you've known for such a long time that it is better to stick with the friendship than to end it, right? So if this is a situation, you need to ask yourself again, are you benefiting from remaining in this friendship? Whilst it can be very difficult, it is important to understand that releasing bad connections will help the good connections to develop further and can help you to grow in the process. So, having people who are really supportive will provide you with positivity, with the positive energy you need in order to thrive and you need in order to grow. When you have taken control of your environment, you have fully taken control of your life. So, if you cultivate the best friendships in your life, you will maintain a better quality of life. You're much more likely to reach your goals because the influence of the people you spend the most of your time with happens to shape your mindset and the way that you think and feel about yourself. So, research has shown that people who motivate you, support you, and see the best in you will consciously and subconsciously drive you towards what you want to do in life and ultimately achieve more. You really control your life by creating a good friendship circle. So, to build a good network of supportive and invested friends in your life, it really, really takes time. It really, really takes intention. You have to be really intentional about filtering out the persons that we've placed in the red and the yellow zone. So you really need to reevaluate the people that you have in your life, categorize them, make a conscious decision who you are going to have staying in your life, who you're going to have removed from your life. The second thing you need to do after you filter them out is to really put the spotlight on the good friendship. So the more you identify with traits that make you deepen your friendships and make you feel as though you really want to cultivate healthy friendships, the more you will see in other people. You want to find people who you're able to trust, people who share your core values, someone who have your best interest at heart, and someone who is not afraid to tell you the truth, someone who is not afraid to be open and honest and vulnerable with you. You, in turn, need to also display some level of vulnerability because this is essential in attracting more meaningful relationships in your life because you reflect back what you put out. So, by opening up and not camouflaging yourself to others, this will allow others to do the same with you. So don't be afraid to talk about your fears, voice your opinions, and if you have a big dilemma, be sure to share it. Remember to put effort in your friendships. Having said that, when it comes to evaluating, you need to remind yourself that people will come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Your job is to really be able to assess and to ascertain while they're there. So let's talk a little bit about that. So when someone is in your life for a reason, it is usually to meet a need that you have expressed and they have actually come to assist you through a difficulty, to provide you with guidance, to really provide you with support, to aid you, whether it be physically, emotionally, spiritually, sometimes financially. And these people may seem like a godsend, and it's because they are. They're there for the reason that you wanted them there for, and the reason that you needed them to be there. And without any wrongdoing on your part or at a time that you may seem or it may seem as though it's an inconvenient time, the person will say something or do something to bring the friendship to an end. Sometimes they die, sometimes they walk away, sometimes they act up and force you to stand up and remove them from your life. What you must realize is that your needs has been met, the desire has been fulfilled, their work is done. Be grateful, embrace it. It is time for you to move on. Other people will come into your life for a season because we're all a work in progress and your time has come to share, to grow, or to learn. So they will bring to you an experience of peace. They will make you laugh. They may teach you something that you've never done. They usually give you an unbelievable amount of joy. Believe it or not, it is real, but it is only there for a season. Then you have lifetime relationships. And lifetime relationships are there to teach you life lessons, things that you must build upon to have a solid emotional foundation. Your job is to accept the lesson, love the person, put what you've learned to use in other relationships and in other areas of your life. And it is time for you to really, really, really be grateful for lifetime relationships, have the ability to release season and reason relationships. So, as I mentioned before, there are going to be times when your friendships and your dreams have collided, and that is time to declutter. You're moving in different directions. You don't have the same goals. You no longer share the same values, and so it is time for you to really, really be intentional about moving forward and about moving on. So remember that relationships have a life cycle of their own. Be grateful for the gifts that you have received from your friendships or from your relationships. You have to also be willing to freely release the ones that are no longer serving your highest good, giving them the freedom to explore life apart from you. Know that the friendships and the relationship that you need at any moment in time will come to you. And so it is believing and trusting that the universe has your back and that you will get what you need at any moment in time. Remember that the stream that you drink from is the stream that you think from, is the stream that you become. Bear in mind that dream achievers flock together, time wasters flock together. And a manager is not able to be a successful leader without a successful team. When you think about a movie, you can't have a great star without a supporting cast. And so if you take your dream or your flight, or if you take a solo flight into your dreams, you will eventually lose momentum. Not because you're not awesome, not because you're not enough, but because dream achievers flock together, and it is who you're with that will help you when you've lost steam. So if you're surrounding yourself with people who are not moving forward, then there's absolutely nothing to gain from those friendships. So you want to be able to surround yourself with people who feed life into your dreams, who speak life into your visions, who are able to help you keep the momentum in your moments of weakness when you lose steam. You need to ask yourself, will these individuals hold you up? You also need to decipher what roles are these people playing in your life. And all the people that you attract into your lives are mirror of your innermost beliefs about yourself and about the world. So you need to ask yourself if they're doubters, if they're naysayers. You need to be mindful of bitter people who have missed their turn and they're trying to kill your future. So these are individuals who are not in agreement with anything you say you're going to do if you want to move forward. They will hate on you only because they've missed their turn, and there's nothing more painful to them than their lost opportunities. You want to eliminate the people from your life who are taking the life out of your dream, and you want to assiduously work on creating your dream team. So every day that you're spending in unfulfilling friendships or unfulfilling relationships is one more day that you are not open to supporting your dreams. And sometimes, unfortunately, your close friends could be potential dream killers. So, if you're not showing proper discernment and managing these friendships right, you will find that you're not able to hold up when you've lost interest, when you're feeling inadequate. Sometimes you may have to take a stand and ignore your friends when you have a clear vision, when you have a clear vision for your dreams, when you get your vision totally and they don't get it. Sometimes you're waiting on them to validate you. Remember that your dream is unique to you and your dream does not belong to anyone else but you. So, the kinds of friends and companies that you keep are extremely important in you being able to realize your dream. The Bible says that he who walks with the wise is wise and that bad company really corrupts good character. So you really want to make sure that you're working on that. So I want you to be mindful and take an inventory of your friendships, of your relationships, and of the individuals that you have in your space. You need to create your dream team, which gives you the opportunity to hire people from your dream team. You also have the ability to fire people from your dream team, which brings me to thinking about when I was younger and I had a friend, I want to call her my fun friend. And this person and I, we went to parties together. We did our nails together. This girl was as funny as can be. I really love hanging out with her. She had a fun spirit. We just gelled. What can I say? I really love her. She was a person who would get me into parties. I didn't have to pay to get into clubs. She knew celebrities. And the funny thing is, thinking about it now, is we seldom talked about our dreams, our visions, and our value system that would take us there. But I still really loved her connections. What she saw for the next chapter in her life and where she wanted to go, I really didn't care as long as her personality didn't change. And I really didn't feel guilty for feeling that way. I never really worried too much about getting to the core of my dreams and vision with her until that day when I got the call. I remember I was sitting at the hairdresser and she called me. She said, Nicole. Hardly any of my friends call me Nicole. So when they call me Nicole, I know that something has gone wrong. And she told me she was calling from the police station. She told me she was arrested and she asked me to pick up her daughter for her at school. And I couldn't understand why she was arrested. So I had her daughter for days until I got the call from her 3 days later, letting me know that, despite me hanging out with this girl for years, I really didn't know that she was a pretty popular businesswoman, but the product that she was actually selling was drugs. I was so unaware. And my concerns grew. And I know that I was also in her police report because this is my friend that I was hanging out with. The cops were watching me too. I mean, I was not selling drugs, so I was not afraid. But I really got upset that I was really aligning with people that were not doing things that were in alignment with my values. And only because I really didn't want to miss out on the friends and the parties and all that, I really never take the time to really go deeper on this friendship. And in fact, the morning that she got arrested, she was actually on her, I was actually on my way to her home and I decided not to go. So she was on her way to see me instead. And I know that God works in mysterious ways because if I had gone to her home, I probably would have been arrested too. And I'm not suggesting that you're hanging out with drug dealers or even if that's what you're choosing to do, it's totally up to you. My intent of sharing this discussion with you or sharing this particular part of my life with you is for you to be able to take a close examination of the people that you're spending time with. Do they energize you? Do they drain you? Do you share each other's values? Do you support each other on your dreams, your visions? Decluttering people from your life is important because you're the most important person in your life and you get to choose and decide who is in your life. So I supported my friend while she was behind bars. I sent her items when she needed it. I made sure she was okay, her daughter was okay. But what I also knew is that I was more important. And so I'm asking you to do an inventory and to take an assessment of who do you have in your life. Are you forcing friendships? Are you forcing reasons to be seasons and seasons to be lifetime? Evaluate, examine. And thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. We'll talk more soon, but I want you to be able to really assess who do you have in your life? Who do you have on your dream team? Don't forget that you got this. You deserve this. You don't need validation, confirmation, permission, or definition because just as you are more than enough. Settle for more.